Hello, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are really happy to have you all here. If you want to leave in the chat, where are you from and where are you watching us? We are really happy to have you all here. And if you don't mind answering the poll that it's going to appear on your screen in a couple of minutes so we can get to know each other better, so we can know if you are already an Real Estate IQ subscriber, and if you would like to have a one-on-one consultation of our services too. Today we have Steve Davis with us, speaking of why real estate accounts are for 90% of all millionaires. So thank you again for joining us. And in case you have any question regarding the webinar, we encourage you to write it down in the chat or in the QR box so we are able to respond it as soon as possible. So welcome to Real Estate IQ. Your deal is our mission. We are the deal makers and the dream makers. We provide the best real estate solutions committed to help one more person to win. So make your deals come true. So a couple of solutions that we have for streamline your deal making progress. We have our market leads, custom lead mining, we have EVA CMA, and we have virtual assistants. But if you're looking for more, please try out our exclusive membership. These are our social media accounts. We have Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. You can follow us there, scanning the QR below the icon. And if you want to join our real estate newsletter, you can scan the QR that is on your left. So you can see all the webinars we have. We have around 3 webinars each week and 1 in-person event every month. Okay. And if you would like a one-on-one consultation to get a free 30 minutes in-depth consultation of real estate IQ services with one of our experts, please schedule it now by scanning the QR as well or sending an email. You can write it down in the chat and I will contact you as well. So here's a short video of what we do. Okay, thank you. So as I said, we have Steve today with a pretty interesting webinar. I don't want to make you lose more time. So Steve, I will stop sharing my screen and whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
Great. Okay, I will leave you. Good. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Do I go ahead and begin? I'm sorry.
Yes, 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 whenever you're ready.
Okay. All right. Welcome, everybody. I do want to give you a little bit of a sales pitch for Real Estate IQ. When I first started investing 30 plus years ago, and I was trying to get the information that Real Estate IQ has, I had to subscribe to really 3 different programs to get what Real Estate IQ does. And it was in excess of $500 a month to get that information. Now, it worked. I made a lot of money doing it, but Real Estate IQ is much more effective, much less expensive. And I don't think that there's a competent single family investor out there that doesn't subscribe to a service like this. So please check it out. Take advantage of that one-on-one consultation and decide for yourself. But again, I don't know any competent professional investor that doesn't subscribe to a service, either Real Estate IQ or something identical or close to it. So check that out, please. What we're going to talk about now, and I'm going to share my screen, and I hope this is effective. You are screen sharing. Nope, that wasn't the screen share that I wanted. Let me try that again. Share screen, PowerPoint, share. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Basically, what we've got is the reason that real estate accounts for 90% of the millionaires in America is there are multiple reasons, but the main reason is because real estate makes money 4 ways. The most important being cash flow, and building a second stream of income with real estate is the most effective way to build wealth and to reach retirement. If you think about it, if you try to save your way to retirement, no matter how much money you save, you're going to reach a point where you're fearful that you're going to outlive your money. But if you build a second stream of income that comes in, whether you live 10 years or 50 years in retirement, there's much more peace. It's a much more effective way to do it. So I'm going to go through this. What this is that I'm presenting is the first half of our free sample class that you can find at totalwealthacademy.com. I'm going to go through the first half. If you enjoy this, then watch the second half by just going to totalwealthacademy.com later today or tomorrow and watch the second half. But I am the founder. I'm the lead consultant here at Total Wealth Academy. And my claim to fame is when I was 27, which was, good Lord, 31 years ago, I starting with bad credit and no money. Within 2 months, I was able to quit my job after I learned about real estate. And 3 years later, I was financially independent. I wasn't rich, but I no longer had to work a job at all. I no longer had to work, period. And I've been teaching people how to do the same thing for about the same amount of time, about 30 years. Our mission statement is simple. We're here to coach people on how to build a second stream of income with real estate, allowing them to lead more balanced and joyful lives while helping and serving others with real estate. Let's see, it's not switching. Okay, I got to close. There's that demo request. I got to close the demo request. Sorry about that. Why we do it is because by age 65, 95% of Americans fail to retire successfully. Now, that doesn't mean some of them don't retire anyway, but they retire and their quality of lifestyle is, in my opinion, horrible. They have to depend on their kids. They have to depend on the government. They become a burden on their kids and the government. So 95% of Americans fail to retire by age 65. Okay, something else is blocking. I am sorry about this, but for some reason it's not letting me change slides.
By clicking on it, you can.
Okay, there we go. Thank you, thank you. And the other problem is by age 65, 26% of us are dead. So the golden years are really a golden lie. It just doesn't work. What people are doing is not working. The average savings is about $60,000. Now, a recent study said that's moved up to $200,000. But think about this. If you're going to live 18.5 years in retirement, which is about average, is $200,000 enough? Of course not. That'd be about $10,000 a year. So you can see why people are failing. People are suffering. Our formal educational system has failed. In 1974, we became responsible for our retirement. Really, no more pensions, or pensions became very, very small after the laws changed in 74. However, the government did not add any classes on how to invest or build wealth for retirement to our educational system. High school and college teaches you nothing about building wealth. They teach you how to get a job, and that's about it. But this is probably a good thing, because the government solution to a problem is usually as bad as the problem. The good news is that we know what the 5% are doing. Now, what we do is we stop the suffering by educating, motivating, and encouraging others with the knowledge that the rich share with their kids that the poor and middle class cannot. Not that they don't want to share it with their kids. It's just they've never been rich, so they don't know how. And they can't teach their kids how to get rich because they've never done it. Through live and online classes, we teach individuals and families the principles that lead people to more happy, wealthy, and joyful lives. We continue to educate our members through one-on-one coaching and consulting until they can do this on their own. We have classes on fitness, spirituality, family, marriage. We have children's classes on wealth, and primarily how to build a second stream of income through wholesaling, flipping, single-family rental, and commercial rental. And commercial is apartments, self-storage, senior living, hotels, strip shopping centers, RV parks, mobile home parks, you name it. If it's real estate related and it produces cash flow, we're investing in it. We are the most diverse real estate investing platform in the US, giving you more safety and less volatility. The material that we teach has resulted in the purchase of every piece of real estate of the last 100 plus years. Now, please keep an open mind about this next point. Did you know that all of you are already a thing called a passive investor? That's all I do. I invest in big apartment complexes, self-storage, senior living, and so on. But I do nothing. I just put my money in the deal, and the sponsor or syndicator, the leader of the deal, sends me a check every quarter. And people are fearful of being a passive investor. They think it's risky. Well, what you've got to understand is you're already a passive investor. When you make a deposit at the bank, or you pay your insurance premium, what do you think they do with your money? You think they put it in a vault for safekeeping? No, they invest it passively in, guess what? Real estate. Banks and insurance companies are the biggest real estate owners in the United States. Now, you may ask, why don't they put it in stocks, gold, silver, or crypto? Too risky, too volatile. They put it in real estate because real estate is the safest investment and offers the highest returns. They would never put your money in stocks, gold, silver, or crypto because they could lose it. It's very difficult to lose money in real estate. Now, this next one is another one where you got to keep an open mind. How many of you think your home is an asset? Most people do. In fact, they've been told by financial planners that their biggest asset is their home. Look at this, though. Purchase price, $200,000 at the top. If you purchase two houses the same day, one to live in and one to rent, look at the home on the left. You're going to pay interest. I know it's much higher now, but let's say it's 4%. That's $137,000. You pay taxes at about 3%. That's $180,000. Insurance, $90,000. Maintenance, $120,000. Your all-in cost over your 30 years is $727,000. You sell the house for $600,000. It triples in value. In your brain, you're going, wow, I paid $200 for it. Now it's worth $600. I made $400,000. No, you lost $127,000. Your home is not an asset. Your home is a liability. But look at the right, the rental. Interest is the same. Taxes, insurance, maintenance, all the same, except for one thing. You also have rental income, $630,000. That rent house made you $500,000, $500,000. When you add those two together, the $127,000 loss and the $500,000 gain, that's a difference of $630,000. See, rental property is an asset. It builds wealth and makes you money. Your home takes money. See, what you got to understand is assets put money in your pocket every month. Liabilities take money out of your pocket every month. What does your home do? It takes money out of your pocket every month. That's a liability. So keep that in mind, please. Let's talk about the true goal. Many people talk about retirement being the goal. I suggest no, retirement is not the goal. Financial freedom is the goal. Why? Because financial freedom can be had at any age. I've got students in their 20s that have $20,000 a month in passive income. Part of the reason why retirement, and I'm going to say it, retirement sucks. It does. Those of you going, ooh, I can't wait till retire. That's because your job sucks. You don't like your job. You're unhappy. You think not doing anything is going to be fun. It's not. I'm warning you right now. You can only go golfing so much, hunting so much, knitting so much, watching TV so much, traveling so much, and you're going to get bored. You're going to start to ask why you're alive. Why am I here? What is the purpose of life? And John Wooden put it best. A life not in the service of others is not a life worth living. See, when you're working, you're helping and serving other people. When you retire and you do nothing but travel and play golf, those are all selfish things. Yeah, they're fun. Yeah, you deserve it. A little bit of that is okay. But I'm warning you, I retired twice, once at 30, once at 54. Retirement sucks. I went back to work as quick as I could. The true goal, this is what the 5% that succeeded financially did. They created a second stream of income. And 90% of them used real estate to create that second stream of income. Your second stream of income should meet and exceed all of your wants and needs. Let's say that your bills are $5,000 a month. Then what I'm teaching my students is to build a second stream of income, $10,000 a month. That way, double whatever your bills are. Add up all your bills, food, everything. Double it. And that's what you should shoot for as a goal for your passive income. That way you have 5,000 for bills and 5,000 for travel, romance, fun, and so on. Then you should choose a job or business that you truly love and are passionate about. Something you have fun and you're actually happy doing. This could be charity work. It could be consulting. It could be starting your own business, whatever. That's Warren Buffett and his son, Peter Buffett. What not a lot of people know is that Peter Buffett was given $90,000 of Berkshire Hathaway stock when he turned 19. He immediately sold it and bought musical equipment. He was asked 20 years later, that stock is now worth $120 million. Don't you regret selling it? And Peter said, no, I'm a musician. And the guy has actually won Grammys for his work. See, a lot of people think that if they have a lot of money, they're going to be happy. That's just not true. A lot of people think that if you have a lot of money, your problems go away. That's farther from the truth. See, happiness is the goal. And when you build a second stream of income, it allows you to choose to do with your life what makes you happy. Like Peter, he was a musician. He sold the stock, bought musical equipment, and went the path of being a musician. He's become wealthy as a result, and he's doing what he loves. And oh yeah, I love this slide. You know, it's okay to be happy, right? Many of you feel guilty about it. You go to your job, you hate your coworkers, you hate your boss, but you keep doing it because you don't deserve to be happy. Nobody's happy, right? Wrong. There's a lot of happy people. You just got to understand that the purpose of our lives is to be happy, but there's a catch to it. You're not going to be happy if you're not helping and serving other people. This could be your family. It could be your clients. It could be your church, whatever. But you've got to be out there helping and serving other people. The concept of saving your way to retirement is completely ineffective. The 401k and IRA are ineffective for the average American. Did you know that they only save you taxes if you retire with low income? Kind of shocking, right? You thought IRAs and 401ks would save you taxes. They only save you taxes if you fail financially. Now, how many of you wake up in the morning, you look at your spouse and say, honey, we are failing financially just like we planned. Woohoo! High five, baby. We're failing. We're going to retire broke. How many of you do that? Nobody. Your goal is to retire with high income, which means when you pull the money out of the IRA and 401k, you're going to be in the same exact tax bracket that you were when you were working. The IRA and the 401k are foolish. They do not save you taxes unless you fail financially. Besides, as I mentioned before, retirement sucks. It's the last step before death. I don't know why people get excited about getting old and retiring. So you're excited about getting old? You're excited about doing nothing? You got to face it. Retirement sucks. Now, before we proceed into the real estate material, we need to address the 100-pound gorilla in the room. It's a thing called the ego. And what you've got to understand is if you said, oh, I don't have much of an ego, guess what? You got the biggest ego in the room. Anybody who says they don't have an ego, that's the most egotistical thing you could possibly say. We all have an ego. You want an ego. You just want to make sure that it is attached to the right things. See, most of you have your ego attached to fancy cars, big houses, traveling. You get your jollies by posting on Facebook that you're in Europe and all this crap. And it's like your ego's attached to those things. And as a result, your ego propels you towards those things. And those cars and houses and over traveling keep you broke. But what if you took control of your ego? What if you attached your ego to building wealth, to being fit, to having a 50-year marriage? You know what your ego would propel you towards? Building wealth, having a 50-year marriage, fitness. See, the ego doesn't care what you attach it to, but it will propel you towards those things. And corporate America every day is advertising to you, and they're telling you what to attach your ego to. They tell you to attach it to the Lexus, the Mercedes. They tell you to attach it to bigger homes, nicer clothes, jewelry, watches, travel. They control your ego if you don't. So take control of your ego, get control of it, get it attached to having a second stream of income, being fit and healthy, and having a 50-year marriage and all the other parts of a balanced life. I said that. Oh, the other thing, I don't want to use the word failure, and I don't want you to ever use it as well. There is no such thing as failure. There are only results. Now, sometimes you get a result you don't want. Many of you are in your 40s, 50s, or later, and you're still not in the financial position you want to be in. You've worked 20, 30, 40 years, and you're still not in the financial position you want to be in. You call yourself a failure. Don't do that. It's just results. It's a result of what you've been doing the last 20, 30, 40 years. That's all it is. If it's a result you don't want, then stop doing the same thing over and over again. You have to change what you're doing if you want to get a different result. One of the main reasons people join Total Wealth Academy is to get out of the rut of relying on a job as their sole source of income, which is the highest risk position you can be in, and they build a second stream of income so that they get a different result the next 20 years. With the ego in check, let's move forward to two questions that I get all the time. If real estate works and is so easy, why doesn't everybody do it? Okay, let's talk about fitness for a second and exercise. Does exercise work? Yes. It reduces your resting heart rate, extending your life. It reduces fat content, adds strength, adds energy, increases your cognitive skills. Yes, exercise works. Why doesn't everybody do it? See, just because something works does not mean everybody's going to do it. And then they ask me this directly. If you make so much money with real estate, why don't you just go buy more real estate? Why are you teaching? It's because I don't like real estate. Now let that sink in for a second, but I don't like real estate. I don't like managing it. I don't like running it. I don't like anything about it. But where's all my money? In real estate. See, I love to teach. I get my jollies off teaching. I love emails. My members have unlimited question and answer with me through email. I answer 100 plus emails a day, sometimes 200. I freaking love it. It's my passion. So I invest in real estate, but I take my time and I invest my time in helping and serving others through consulting and coaching, because that's what I love to do. All right. Part one of this is the 6 reasons that we chose real estate over all other investment vehicles. Part 2 are 14 pillars of success and happiness. So let's head into the 6 reasons that we chose real estate. Number 1, 90% of the millionaires in the United States used real estate to become so. Now check this out. This is from 100+ years ago. Andrew Carnegie. 90% of all millionaires became so through owning real estate. Do you see how brutally consistent real estate is? It creates more millionaires than any other vehicle, always has and always will. Number 2, real estate doubles in value almost every 20 years. This is since 1776. The value of real estate has gone up double every 20 years. Number 3, real estate makes money in both the up and down markets. See, if you're a speculator, you've got your money in IRAs and 401ks, and you got it in the stock market and mutual funds, you're a speculator. And when the market goes down, what happens to you? You lose money. Flat out, you lose money in the down market. What happens in real estate? Let's go back to 2007, right before the Great Recession. I was in about 4,000 apartment units. I was making, we'll say, 80 grand a month in passive income. The market crashed in 2008, 9, 10, 11. My property values dropped 20, 30%. Did I care? No, because I was still making $80,000 a month. Real estate makes money in both the up and down markets. Now, why don't I care what the market does? And why should, and this is funny, you got to put yourself in this position. If you are one of those people that's constantly looking at the news and trying to figure out what the market's doing, you're wasting your freaking time. Cut it out. There's only one prediction, and it's my prediction, and I've been right every freaking time. Every freaking time. When Wall Street Journal asked me or Newsweek asked me what's going to happen in the real estate market next year, I've been right every single time. Here's my answer. A bunch of shit we didn't expect. There's a prediction, and I've been right every time. See, I don't care what the market does because it's completely out of my control. And I do not waste time thinking about stuff that's out of my control. If you study Stephen Covey in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he talks about it as a circle of control. And you can see in the center, these are things you control. You control your attitude, your fitness, your decisions, your work ethic, and so on. Then you have your circle of influence, children, employees, relatives, employment, so on. Those are things you have influence over, but not control. And by the way, those of you that had trouble with your kids, you know why you had trouble with your kids? Because you thought they were in your circle of control and you use power and control on them. When you use power and control on somebody, what does it produce? A rebel. See, if you had trouble with your teenagers, it wasn't the hormones, it was your method. You caused the problem by trying to control them. They are in your circle of influence, not your circle of control. Now, on the outside, you'll see the circle of concern. These are things you have little to no control over. Politics, who likes you, other people's choices, the weather, your skin color, world events, past mistakes, and, of course, market conditions. If you're wasting your time on politics, this one always drives me nuts. I know people who knew who they were going to vote for within 5 minutes of finding, instantly when they found out who the candidates were. But they waste hours. They waste days, weeks, months watching the news, listening to political radio, reading political magazines. You knew who you were going to vote for. Stop wasting your time. Read a book on how to make more money. That's your freaking problem. You don't make enough money. And these politicians are not going to help you. Your boss is not going to help you. Your church is not going to help you. The government, your parents aren't going to help you. You're responsible. Stay inside your circle of control. Read a book on how to make more money and put the political and market crap down. It's out of your control. It's a waste of your time. You can't predict what's going to happen. So you better educate yourself so you know how to make money in both the up and down markets. Second reason is, I've alluded to this multiple times, I make money in both the up and down markets, and so will you. You don't care what the market does. And three, unlike most people, you and I like to live in reality. See, it's not if the stock market is going to crash, it's when. It's not if the real estate market is going to crash, it's when. But the good news is, it's not if the stock market, it's not if the real estate market is going to recover, it's when. So you don't care what the market does. You just need to make sure you're in a vehicle that has the potential to make money in both the up and down markets, because the down markets come. People live in a dream world. Oh, the stock market got fixed, it'll never crash again. It's crashed 18 times in the last 100 years. 18 times. You know how many times it's going to crash in the next 100 years? 18 times. All right. I'll skip that one. Number 4, real estate makes you money 4 ways. 4 ways. Let's look at one of our average apartment complexes. We might pick it up for 22 million. It needs 2.5 million in rehab. We got about 500 grand in soft costs. So our all-in cost is 25 million. Total out of pocket would be about 7.5 million. Some of you are asking how we get the 7.5 million. The members all partner together. It might be 75 Total Wealth Academy members using their IRAs and 401ks or cash, and they put up the money. And that's another thing I better address. You know that less than 10% of Americans know that they can use their IRA or 401k to invest in real estate? Less than 10%. Every one of you can use your IRA and 401k to invest in real estate without tax or penalty. We teach that in our Saturday class. Anyway, the first way that it makes you money is cash flow. It's all income minus expenses, including the mortgage. This deal made about 750 grand a year when we bought it. So that's about a 10% rate of return. We put up 7.5 million. We make 750 grand a year. That's about a 10% rate of return. We also picked up equity, the second way that real estate makes you money. The appraisal at closing was 28 million. We picked it up for 25 million. So our equity pickup was 3 million. Divided into the 7.5 million, that's a 40% rate of return, 40%. So when you add those two, we're at a 50% rate of return. Now, I want you to think about this. Where's your money at right now? Stocks, gold, silver, crypto. Are you making a 50% rate of return? No? Does it make sense that you should get some real estate in your portfolio? Here's the third way, principal pay down. Every month, the renters pay all their rent, we pay our mortgage, and that reduces what we owe on the property. Only about 3% the first few years, or about 600 grand a year. That's another 8% rate of return. So we're up at 58%. Now here comes the big one. It's appreciation. In commercial property, it's a thing called forced appreciation. We control the value of our property, and I'll show you how that works in just a moment. In this case, by raising the income, we increase the value of the property. Original net operating income, NOI, was $1.7 million. 24 months later, the new NOI was $2.2 million. That means our property went up in value $11.7 million. 11.7 divided by 7.5 million that we put in, that's 156% rate of return. Again, are you getting rates of return like that where your money's at? When you add all these together, you got a 210% rate of return divided by 2 years. That's about 105% rate of return. Can you see why real estate investors account for 90% of the millionaires? In 2 years, we made $11.7 million. Crazy. Oops. Oh, let's talk about forced savings, by the way. Many of you say, yeah, but you can't spend that money. Exactly. Because you know what most of you would do with it if you did get it? You'd spend it and it would disappear. Real estate is like a forced savings program. It makes you keep your money. What you want to do is live off the cash flow and let the wealth grow inside the deal. It is a powerful tool to get people to save. All right, number 5, we control the value of our assets in commercial real estate. See, with single family, you can't change the value of a home. People foolishly go out there and they add a swimming pool, they add crown molding, granite countertops, hardwood floors, and they think they're increasing the value of the property. They're not. If you're in a neighborhood where the average home sells for $400,000 and you buy one for $400,000 and put $100,000 into rehab and improvements, guess what you've got? A $400,000 house. You just wasted $100,000. So don't be foolish. With commercial, it's the exact opposite. We control the value of our commercial deals. Let's take a little 30-unit apartment that we did. We bought it for $50,000 a door, 1.5 purchase price. We had $400,000 in rehab, $100,000 in softer closing costs. So our all-in price was right around $2 million. The total out of pocket was 30% or $600,000. Where do we get the 600 grand? You could use your personal funds, IRA or 401k with no tax or penalty. You could get it from friends or relatives, credit cards, debt equity in your home, anywhere you want. Where do we get it? As I mentioned earlier, we partner with the members of Total Wealth Academy. So the Total Wealth Academy, it might be 12 people with $50,000 or 6 people with $100,000, and we pool our resources and go buy this apartment. So how is commercial property valued? It's based off of the net operating income, or NOI. It's divided by the capitalization rate, and this is generally set by the bank. In this case, we went to the bank and said, we want to get a loan to buy this apartment. They went and looked at the apartment and they said, look, we'll do the deal, but we want a high cap rate, 8%. So what they did is they took the NOI, 160,000, and divided it by the cap rate, 0.08. Well, that came out to $2 million. So we were buying it for $2 million. The bank agreed it was worth $2 million. So they gave us the loan with 30%, with 25% down plus closing costs, which was about 30%. Action steps after purchase, we remove the drugs and thugs. We rehab the entire exterior. We rehabbed all 30 interiors. We leased the vacant units, raised the rents to market. We even added a laundromat in this case. So what happened was 18 months later, we have a new NOI and a new value. Think of it like this. When we buy a commercial property, an apartment, our goal is to raise the NOI. The new NOI was $240,000 a year, but look at the cap rate. When we went to refinance this to get our down payment back, they gave us a lower cap rate. Why? Because it's a lower risk deal. The rehab was complete. It's fully occupied. It's ready to go. Look at the new value. We bought it for $2 million. 18 months later, we increased the value by $2 million. We then refinanced. We pulled out $1 million. If you had bought this yourself with your own $600,000, that would have been 167% rate of return. But as a passive investor, if you'd have put up $50,000 or $100,000 into this deal with us, that would have been 125% rate of return. And guess what? You owe no taxes on that profit because it came to you in the form of a loan. All right. Total impact. You now have $1.6 million equity in the property, $1 million in your pocket. You turned $600,000 into $2.6 million in just 18 months. Do you have any investments that have done that for you? If not, you really need to get some real estate in your portfolio. The magic formula is this. For every $1 that you increase your NOI, you increase the value of your property by $17. So if you increase your NOI by $100,000 a year, you have increased the value of your property by $1.7 million. That's the power of commercial real estate. Okay, we are at 50, I believe. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. If you would like to see the rest of this presentation, I'm going to open up to question and answer right now for 10 minutes. If you'd like to see the rest of this presentation, go to totalwealthacademy.com and click on the free sample class there. It's about a 2-hour presentation, but it will show you how to incorporate real estate into your life in such a way that you have more time with the family, more time for fitness, more time for charity, more time for romance. Our system is extremely effective. It was developed over 30 years, and we have thousands of people that have used it, and it's been effective. So if you would, go ahead and in the chat, send me any questions that you might have. Anything that I covered, you can ask questions about, or anything else. It doesn't have to be limited to the material that I just shared with you. There's one question sitting here. It says, I'm not from here. I'm retired Army. Thank you for your service. I didn't retire in the Marines, but I did serve in the Marine Corps. Will there be any help finding property? That's what Real Estate IQ does. If you got that program, you do need to educate yourself on how to manage property, how to asset manage, how to lease, so you know the full business model. But as far as finding deals, Real Estate IQ. Any other questions, please? How do I invest in real estate without money? When I started, I had bad credit and no money. And what I did was I was a wholesaler. I would find deals and sell those deals for a finder's fee to people with money and credit. What I did is I joined a local real estate investor club to get around people who had money and credit. And then I read book after book after book on wholesaling till I learned it. But so there's my advice. Join a real estate investor club. Please give us a shot and read. And when you're done reading, read some more until you master it. By the way, our classes do teach you how to wholesale. Okay. Next question is, how did you scale your business? Wow. That's a tough question because it's complex. But I will tell you this. I recognize this fact. There are wonderful people out there that are being mistreated by their company. They're not trained. They're not appreciated. And I was able to scale my business by hiring those people to my team and then treating them with respect, recognizing that the average person is brilliant, recognizing that the average person does care, recognizing that the average person does want to be appreciated. And I built a team of people that I love and care about, people that bring me joy, laughter, fun. We have a blast running our business. If you want to study how I did that, read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Dr. Stephen Covey. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. In this business, scaling is all about your team. Okay, the next question, what are the first steps to get connected into TWA, Total Wealth Academy? It's watch the free sample class. Watch the free sample class. That will show you exactly what we're doing. If you like the free sample class, you can join for $500. That will cover you for 2 years. You'll get unlimited coaching. I know people freak out when I say this. You literally get unlimited question and answer with the coaches and a Saturday class with me. And that Saturday class and the online classes that come with it teach you wholesaling. So the next question, when is your next class on wholesaling real estate? If you decide to join, those classes are online. You can watch them immediately. But please watch the free workshop first, the free sample class. Make sure this is something you want to do. If it is, then enroll for the $500 and start watching the wholesaling classes. All right. I got 5 more minutes, I think.
Yes, I just copy your email address, I'm sorry, and
That's all
your
right.
webpage for everyone, have it on hand.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Have a great rest of the seminar and a great rest of your week.
Thank you so much, Steve, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for attending. It was a really nice webinar, and I hope you see you again. Thank you for your expertise.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.